All right. You're here with Brothers Forge Gaming, and this is Adventures of Tom Sawyer on the Nintendo Entertainment System. You're right in the midst, smack dab in the start of it. We here at Brothers Forge Gaming, EZ, myself, Mr. C, have challenged ourselves, each other, to what we're calling the 50 for 50 challenge. That is to beat 50 Nintendo games over the next 5 months. Now, we are at number 9 of 10. EZ's almost. He said he's within grasp of handling Abadox, which has been a long time white whale for him. Hopefully he can take that down. We'll see. Check out his Man vs. Game challenge to see the results of that. Well, alright, let's get back to the game here at hand. As I mentioned, this is the Adventures of Tom Sawyer. You can play this game with 2 players, not simultaneously, but what's interesting about this game is it's essentially a game in which you speed run. The only score that I know of that I can see is you're based on your time at the end. So the faster you clear the levels, the higher, or well, I should say lower score that you get. So you're going for a low score, or I don't know, maybe you're going for a high score. Whatever it is that you're going for, that's essentially the only determining factor I have seen on this game to say if you were challenging a buddy. One player gets to be Tom, the other gets to be Huck, Finn. What's nice about this, you do get some different features here. We go to this top-down raft mode in level 2. You actually have to time some somewhat tricky jumps. And I had some trouble with the boss at the end of this level, so it is a little bit longer of a fight. You could probably skip ahead on that one if you're not one to watch me try to sit there and figure out how to do that fight. And down the road as well, I believe it's level 5. Actually, level 5 was one of the... this game, okay, it's a one-hit, one-death platformer where it has... You don't get a lot of checkpoints. There are checkpoints, which is nice. You get unlimited continues as far as I could tell. You do get several guys to clear the level, to withstand your checkpoints. If you have to continue, though, obviously you have to start from the beginning of the level again. And you can earn free guys. So, I mean, it's not an impossible game. I've played games, you get like one guy, no continues to beat the entire game with one hit. Those are like impossible games, okay? You gotta really want it to beat those kind of games. So, it's not a completely unobtainable game to play, but it is. I mean, these old games, you gotta want it. Like I said, you gotta want it to beat it. And that's one cool thing about this challenge we're doing. EZ had mentioned it as well, is that a couple times in some of these games we're playing, you might otherwise just put it down and go, okay, I'm put that one down for a while, or maybe never play it again kind of thing. But when you've challenged yourself or a friend or someone random on YouTube to a challenge, you really want to go for that. So that is one interesting thing that is with these, going back and playing these old games. I mean, sure, in modern gaming we have plenty of reasons to complete games. You've got unlocks, you've got trophies, you've got achievements, you've got whatever other driving factors you may have to complete games. Those are all available. Back in the day on these games here, you had the reason to play these games mostly was for the best score, fastest time. Actually, not even fastest time. People weren't really, as far as I knew when I was growing up as a kid, nobody was really thinking about speedrunning or any of that. So, it was basically just, oh, I beat this game, or, oh, beat my high score, if it was like Pac-Man or something like that. So, gaming has come a long way without saying, that goes without saying. And but like I mentioned, it's fun to go back to these old games with the newer, modernized mentality of, achievements and things like that. So, as I mentioned, that's a reason that keeps us going to play these games. Otherwise, I probably would have put this down. I would have threw this damn game against the wall. Level 5 made me so mad, man. I don't want to readily admit this, but I'm not talking literally here, but I was really frustrated, almost to tears in a sense, over that level. I was, gritting my teeth, and it was a tough time. So, as I mentioned, this game isn't it's not that difficult, but it's a question of how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to beat this game? And there's some spots that will test that. The last level's not, I wouldn't say is that hard, but it is. There's no checkpoints, so you gotta, start to finish, you gotta beat it. So check that out. as I mentioned, guys, this is a complete run. So if you are wanting to play this game without spoilers and knowing how to do things, maybe skip around, check some stuff out. But like I said, the hardest parts are kind of toward the end. So watch out for that if you don't want spoilers. Otherwise, sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of this video. Cut it down. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to claim this as a flawless speed run or anything like that, but the times do stick. So even if you continue and whatnot, it starts the timer once you start the level. If you die or whatever, the timer keeps going. So you know, if you want, check those times out. I feel like I did some pretty good times. This level right here, level 2, it's way long because it took me, I don't know, a few minutes to figure out how. I wasn't figuring out how to hit this boss. You gotta hit him somewhere. I wasn't sure how, so it took me a little bit how to, you know, figure out how to beat him. I was like, do I hit him in the eye? Do I hit him? Where do I hit this guy? Do I gotta sail around him? I almost thought I had to jump in his mouth at one point. So I'm glad I didn't do that, because I think this was my last guy, and I would have had to do this darn level over again. So, but yeah. So anyway, if you guys want to see some Nintendo games get beat, come on back, check us out. We're Brothers Forge Gaming. And we'll see you on the next run.